SEO this week. Hey everyone, Clint Butler here. This is episode 62 of SEO this week. We did skip a week. Yes, we did. We skipped one. But that's all right, just because I was looking for much better content to share. Stuff's getting really repetitive, in my opinion. And so with that, I skipped a week, and then some client stuff came up at the same time. Made it a good opportunity to just go ahead and move on to something else for last week. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and show you what we're looking at for episode 62. We'll go over some of the sites. I know there was a couple people who wanted to come on live and talk about an SEO audit. Whether they make it or not, I'm not sure. Hopefully they make it so we can chat it up. If not, we're just going to pick one off the random internet because I want to do a site audit. And I think that'll be valuable to people. Just kind of see, my own little process and how we look at things beyond just, the face value stuff. I want to look at important things. I want to look at, content. I want to look at optimization. Keyword density is even an important thing. May not be important to some people, but I still look at it, and as part of your audit, you should probably do that too. So, without further ado, I'm gonna go on to the screen share. Make sure I'm sharing the right one. There we go. Start the screen. There we go. So what we're looking at is episode 62. It's not even live on the website yet. So that's how behind I am. The first story we're going to look at is Amazon's Poly WordPress plugin that turns printing content into spoken word. I think this is pretty cool. So if you follow me on White Hat versus Black Hat with Josh Brzezinski, we talk about, or specifically last week, I talked about how to multi-purpose your content. So instead of just having your article or having your video, turning that article into a video, turning that article into a PDF, those kind of things are really great way to increase exposure for your website and boost your reach, and it's also great for link building. So this thing is actually pretty interesting. I'm going to implement it on Digitaleer this week. So over the weekend, you should probably, I'll put it on there. But on Monday, check it out. And I think I'm pretty excited about it. It's basically what they did is they have a service called Amazon Poly, and it's translate your words into spoken word, and then there's a bunch of voices, etc. A lot of people have done this before. It's text to speech is in the end is what it's in, but there's a plugin now that you can connect to their service. So if you don't have an Amazon Web Services account, get it for free and use Amazon Poly for free for a year. Try it out and see if it's good for you. And then you install the WordPress plugin, set it all up, and go ahead and fire it off. I think this is going to be really cool. Personally, it's another way to reach people. Let's say they're on a mobile phone and they have an earbud, like the little thing I got on my ear for my phone, and they wanted to read an article, but jostling around. You get tired of that, so you just come in and he's got this Amazon Poly feature, and push play, and they can listen to it. And they engage with your content in some way using Amazon Poly. I think this is a great opportunity. I think we should, try it out. I'm going to try it out. I'm actually going to put it on quite a few of my money sites, so I think you should do it too. Hyperweb Solutions in the chat bar said it looks pretty cool. I like it. I'm impressed. And I'm a big old Amazon fan, so I would go for I would try it. So that's the first one. Next is this Google AMP stuff. I've never been on the rah-rah train for Google AMP. They created a good idea thing. They got all these big publishers to bite off on it, and then the SEO world decided that it was the latest and greatest. However, looking at our analytics and looking at our data, just some people AMP just doesn't make any sense for. If you're a pure informational site, I say go for it. You're not going to lose anything. If you have your site in Google News, go for it. Put it in there. And maybe ecom. I know a lot of ecom people, especially if you have a really strong mobile traffic presence, you're going to benefit from AMP. But for local businesses, really don't see it. You don't see AMP in the local search results all that much. You see a lot more ads than you see AMP. So I don't think that it's really good. In particular, you're going to lose some things like conversion changes. Those were made. I will say that the internet community kind of raised up against Google and stopped eliminating it because they were stripping out things like forms, etc. And they adjusted the AMP so that you have those in there now. And then they also had a message the other day saying that you're going to be able to put bigger images, which was the purpose of AMP, is to reduce the page load, but now you can have bigger images. I don't get it. I personally, I say try it out. Now they have AMP stories. See if you can get them to work on your site if you're using AMP already. But if you're not, then don't bother with it. This is just another good thing to be aware of, though, especially if you tackle one of those information sites or an e-com site with a real heavy mobile traffic presence, because it's something good to look at. SEO reports is the next one. I put this in here because we've actually been screwing around with our SEO reports, and Ahrefs kind of created one here. It's not bad. It just really depends on what you're tracking and stuff, whether an SEO report is good for you. And then number two, is it easy to fill out? The ones that we made, we leverage Google Data Studio. Ryan over at WebRisk, he made a version in Google Data Studio. We bought access to it, and then I rebranded it, changed it up, and made it for my brand, adding new data points and taking a lot of stuff that he was tracking away. And now we can just go in there and plug it on a couple of sheets, refresh the data that pulls out of analytics and search console, and we can refresh the keyword tracking that pulls in there too. And then we're done. So it's really that easy. And I think this one is Ahrefs. It's connected to them. And there's another app that you need for it, Sketch. So I think just plug it in and see if it's going to work for you. The main point, especially with these, is that you need to be able to articulate why that data is there and why it's important to the clients. And if you can do that, then any template's going to work for you, especially if you're showing off what conversions are that you got from your work. So I would check this out. This is a pretty detailed thing. Kind of goes over what it is and how to get it. The other one I was talking about, if you go to training.webrist, I think it's training.webrist.org, and it'll be slow. Watch. Yeah, come here, sign up for an account, check out their reporting, and also check out their project management. That one's expensive though. It's $500 for the project management one, but the reporting stuff is only $100. And you give you a nice, good head start on Google Data Studio. And those things actually look pretty cool. Let's bring one up for you. And let me see. I don't want to bring up. I'm bringing up my clients, so that'd be awesome. I get fired. Let me find one that's the template. Okay, so this is the WebRisk template I was talking about. It's hooked up to Google Data Studio, and basically all you do is connect your Google Analytics, Search Console, and then you have to make an Excel spreadsheet out of your keyword tracker data. They recommend using SEMrush. I don't like SEMrush for keyword tracking, but you can just use the same fields in the spreadsheet and use whatever you want. And then you click through here and it pulls and it updates. Cool thing I like about these is when you have this turned on in your analytics for e-commerce, you get over here into your conversion rates, etc. And it's coming up. Where is it? Organic conversions. You can show this to clients. We had one client that our organic conversions was $108,000 from a $22,000 investment in SEO. You can't beat an ROI like that. It's awesome. And so with reports like that, you can illustrate this to them. So again, I won't get too much into this. I'm not selling his product by any means, but it's a great tool, and I think you guys might find some use out of it. And it's training@webbers.org. When you get over here, click on the reporting, and then it'll tell you to log in or buy the product. And this one's $99, and the project management one, which is significantly more extensive, comes with $500 price tag. It's got videos. They encourage you to give your team members the login stuff. So if you don't want to create the reports, you just want it to get something for someone else to fill out, and there you go. It's got the videos and how to do it. So, and then again, here's the Ahrefs version that you can kind of check out too. Looks like it's leveraging Google Sheets, which is cool. The Moz video, I'm not going to really get into. You guys can watch that. I think it's pretty good. It's talking about using cross-domain canonicals to increase the SEO value. We're going to test out his theories behind this. I don't use cross-domain canonicals very much, so I can't really speak intelligently of it. I will say that it sounds good, and I've seen the power of canonicals and how you can leverage those to boost the authority of a page for SEO. I just haven't scaled it in any way or had the time to test the use of across-domain stuff. So I'm going to have to defer to old Rand on this one. And if you've had some experience with cross-domain canonicals, I'd be pretty interested in hearing about it and how you're leveraging it. And it's certainly something that I want to try for sure. The Google People Also Search feature has been updated. This is kind of interesting, and I found it the other day. I was doing some searches for my own site, and then I clicked back button, and it popped up this weird little image or alternate image underneath the search thing. So here's an example. Fucking pop-ups. Here's an example. They clicked that, and then they went to the back button, and then this People Also Search button showed up underneath the link that you clicked. I think it's pretty cool because in theory, it should be showing page or keywords that are relevant to the search, and then hopefully, if you're smart, you go ahead and optimize pages on your site for those terms, and you show up there too. So that increases the chance that, the first click for color strategies, maybe it's not the right one for me. But then you clicked secrets of surf fishing at night. And then saw your site again. Wow, maybe these guys are the authority. And then they click striped bass trolling alerts. Oh, crap, they're there again. Maybe they are the authority. So that might be a pretty good thing to do. I'm also going to test using those in my H tags. So you know that I do H1. I find the exact match keywords, and H2 and H3 are those People Also Search or related searches at the bottom of the search results. Here's another set of keywords right there for your H1 or your H2 and H3 tags to kind of rank longer pieces of content, quote unquote cornerstone content. For more keywords. Use those as your H tags. So if your color strategies for big striped bass is your keyword, and then my H2 is the black bomber lure. That's a color, right? It's related. Baits for fly fishing by stripers at night. It could be related to color if you only choose the color of your lure for nighttime. So I think that's another opportunity right there that you guys can leverage based off of that. I think it's a pretty cool feature. I'm going to miss People Also Search for questions. I like stripping those out and making pieces of content out of there. But to me, this is another opportunity to stand out and leverage the content you already have in your H tags, which Google seems to love a lot these days. I'm going to close out the content stuff with this piece from King Kong. These guys, if you've never followed this agency, it's an agency out of Australia. And they have these ebook reports that are really cool. They have these proposal sets, and that's how we found them. is these sets of proposals that are built in PDF, they're absolutely kick-ass. So if you are doing proposals and you're sending those out, get in here, sign up for their ebooks, and then sign up to get a copy or one of their proposals. I think you're going to be rather impressed. I know we are. We actually sent someone through here as a fake client to get all the proposals for SEO, web design, and PPC management. It might be something that you guys should try out. Really good agency to follow. Anyways, talking about the chatbot sales funnel, and this is from January, but I missed it on their blog when they posted it, so I think it's good for you. The basic crux of the article is using AI in your chatbots to kind of move people along the funnel. And a lot of people are doing this nowadays with Facebook and the Facebook Messenger, which I think is pretty awesome. I've converted a couple times for people when they're, they engage me in those, and I like them. And it saves me from having to engage with a paid ads feed, waiting for the answers, and so the chatbot handled it pretty good. But there's some ideas like nurturing your leads, immediate customer service. This one was okay. It's not too bad of an idea, I don't think. Improving the user experience, predictive to drive conversions. This is interesting. Kind of follow the people around and messages and what they're talking about. It might help you fix your cart and your funnels at the same time. Social media marketing campaigns, I can see that too. I wouldn't know how to implement that at all. And the best chat platforms. This is the part I wanted to really show you is the different platforms that are available. And they look pretty good. Chatty People looks all right. Looks kind of cartoony. This one, Chat Fuel, might fit my site and the look of my domain a little bit better. And then there's Facebook Messenger's platform. This is the one where you tweet someone and you tweet them a hashtag or a specific word or something, and then it'll reply. I know some people that are leveraging this really well, especially to figure out content and stuff and where to go to that. So, and then there's Smooch. I've never heard of Smooch or Bbot. This one looks kind of cartoony. I think this one I've actually had this hooked up to my Slack account. It just got on my nerves because now it was just another distraction tool. And that was something that I didn't really like, but these other ones look pretty good. Hyperweb Solutions in the chat says that he's using Chat Fuel and it works pretty well for some basic stuff. That's good. If it's easy to set up and it's easy to go, that's where I'm all for that stuff. I like trying new things, but I don't like trying new things that I have to learn a whole new programming language to figure out in the first place. So if it's easy to set up, I'm definitely going to give it a shot for Digitaleer. It seems like it will fit what we're doing over there better. I think that's it, though. I limited the content there. Yep, that's it. So I limited the content just to kind of keep things going. But again, get over here on King Kong. KingKong.com.au is the website. Sign up for their ebooks. See how they're building those. Check out their email funnel when you sign up. A lot of it, it's only 1 or 2 messages per ebook that you get. And then if you feeling adventurous, sign up and try to get their web design proposal, a copy of that, their proposal for SEO, and their proposal for PPC. I think you're going to be really impressed with those, and it's certainly something to model for your own stuff if you're sending out proposals. I'm working on sending out proposals and creating some better ones. We're doing that through Better Proposals because they have some dynamic features that we can get away with, and I don't have to do a whole lot of work. So I think if that might be something you guys can check out too. Alrighty, I think that's it for this. So I wanted to do the site audits. I know Gabe Jordan, he's here. He said he had a site that he would want us to look at. So if you have that available, Gabe, go ahead and drop the URL. I'm not sure if you can do the whole thing, so just do, domain space and then .com or .org or whatever it is. Then we can bring it up if it's cool with you. I'm going to move some stuff around. And if not, then I'm going to check out a new niche that I want to get into. This will help with the whole on-page audits and how we're going to do it. So I have to close a window, get rid of that, and open a new one. You can see my bookmarks. I bookmark everything, and then I never go back to it. So that's how it is. It's a new niche I want to get into, and I want to do it I want to set up a PPL site. I'm thinking about sharing it, but I'm going to create two sites. One I can share that I don't care if people, want to be a-holes and fry it, and then I'm going to create one that's actually actually working. So that's the plan with that. Market, and then I got Gabe's website. So let's do the audit on Gabe's thing. He came last week, and then I stood him up. So we're going to look at it again. Kansas City web design. I'm going to assume because that's cool. Fancy Gabe. I like that. That's pretty cool. All right. I'm assuming Kansas City web design is your primary keyword. So that's what we're going to go with for the purpose of this. First place I look every time. First place I look is SERPworks. You guys might have seen Josh Brzezinski using this thing too. I've been using it forever. When he initially started it and I was betaing, I was on there using this thing. So it's cool. But I always go here. I always look at on-page stuff. Link metrics, they're great. They're interesting. But I always go to on-page. And then I look at the traffic. Now you got the keywords, but your traffic is low, which tells me that your rankings are lower. And then maybe the traffic volume of the words are done. No big deal. First place I always go is here at the H tags. Kansas City web design, you need it in here. So if it was me, I would have this here would be H1. Secret formulas to catch the right Kansas City web design. Let's see, secret formulas, secret web design, secret Kansas City web design, secret Kansas. I have to think that one over. Secret formulas to catch the right leads and close more sales. Why wait? Get on board. This is a good headline, so I really don't want to mess with it. But I need to figure out a way. You need to figure out a way right here. This thing is really distracting. It's mesmerizing. Kansas City web design. Are you looking for the best Kansas City web design team? That would fit. Are you looking for the best Kansas? Yes. We have secret formulas to get you right now. Great. Why wait? Get on board. Okay. Click how we work. That's a good flow for that, and it won't be dorky. So just putting an exact match in there, if that makes any sense. So you're ranking for web design. Okay. Web design alone or the city web design. So that'd be really important to know. I know that it's you're going to get the local results and you're going after web design. But if you optimize for the city, you establish relevancy for the city and the geo in the city, and you're more likely to show up when someone in Kansas City searches for web design, if that makes sense. Okay, Kansas City web design, sound good. H2s. These are the recommended searches. So let's go in here, turn on this handy little tool. I don't know if this is gonna work. Kansas City. Kansas City. You're impressed anywhere it was, weren't you? You're like, he's gonna look around for it. All right, so there you go. Now we're in Kansas City. Kansas City web design. I'm gonna go down here and make sure. Nope, not yet. Oh, come on. What I'm trying to do is get that plugin there to do the local search for me, and I'm checking on the bottom, and it's not doing it yet. We'll try it one more time. If it doesn't work, then I'm just going to move on. Yeah, it's not working right now. Kansas City. I don't know why. This is a good plugin though. If you can get it, let me get you guys the link. I'll drop the link in the chat. You got to play with that accuracy thingy right here. I noticed for whatever reason, it's really touchy. Waiting OGS. Kansas City. There you go. Crossroads, Kansas City, Missouri. Ta-da! Right. So we're looking for lucrative. I want to look in the top 10. I don't see you. Okay. No big deal. While I'm doing this, Gabe, write down my email. It's Clint at overthetopseo.com. Clint at overthetopseo.com. What I need you to do is send me an email asking me for a copy of this. And that will, what I'm giving you is S on page only. Fix that first, and then you can hit me back up, and I'll give you the one with the links too. Here, number 97. Holy crap! If I lag out, this thing. It's pulling up from a lot of threads when it goes into check the LSI. So if that's that, just someone ping me in there and say I messed up. While that's running, we're going to go into here and look for the related terms. So that would be those. Kansas City, Overland Park, web developer, Kansas City, web design, and SEO. These are the related terms I would put in here. Using that little trick we just saw, so we can kick on here. Worry about CTR because you're not even on the first page, so it's no big deal. I'm going to click in here, and I want to go back. Let's see if we can trigger that trick. There it is. Web development, Kansas City Web Design Company. These would be your H2s and H3s. So I would use those two sets. Eliminate this one because it's not relevant to web design. This one, not relevant to web design. Not relevant, not relevant, not relevant. That's relevant. Web resources. This is iffy. I would replace it. And what you can do is look at your code. If you're not a developer, look at your code and switch it over to use the exact font size. Okay, let me slow down and wait till it's done. Okay, am I back to normal? I was playing the Jeopardy music. It was checking the LSI, so that's why. On Quora. I guess I should do this. I'm going to switch to the full screen so you guys can see what the hell I'm doing with Quora. There it is. Share screen. And I'm gonna hide this. Great. All right. So I just ran Cora, and the lag was when it did the LSI. So that's where it was from. So just to recap really quick, your H2 tags need to be directly related to your H1 tags. So Kansas City Web Design needs to be in here, and your H2 is the terms directly related to it. So I would remove the H2 tag from this, remove from this, this, and this. I would replace it with terms from here. And remember, we just learned that if you click this and then come back to the search results, that'll activate. And terms from down here. If you get a keywords everywhere Chrome extension and you're not searching, like in your case, Gabe, you're in Kansas City, so you don't need to mess with the search results to bring up the local and have keywords everywhere. It'll choose the ones with the highest keyword search volume. It's obvious. You won't see that in these, but that you can kind of pick based off of common sense. And then I would do the same thing with your H3s. This, remove all of that crap. Move H3s on here, H3s on that, all of this stuff. If it doesn't say web design, designing a website, or building a web design, or something directly related to design, then it needs to not be an H3. Use the HTML. Pick the right font size that matches what you have and set for your H3s already, and then change that. It is a pain in the butt. I'm not going to deny it. We just did it to a site with over 4,000 pages on it. But it's really worth it SEO wise. And basically what you're doing is creating an outline. I'll go over that in just a second. H4s is this is exact match. So Kansas City Web Design, exact match. H4, Kansas City Web Design, exact match. I like putting in my call to actions here. So if you need the best Kansas City Web Design team, call us now. And that's my H4 tag. So I get the call to action. I never forget about it because it's always going to be my H4 tag. And that way you're always asking for the sale. So you'd be good there. Next, I look at your meta stuff. What is your meta description? Your title tags properly set. Playing with the different things. Pick, inbound marketing agency. You don't need it if you're capturing web design. If your sole purpose is to create web design, you don't need this. You can upsell them later after their web design client on the inbound stuff, and your SEO, your content marketing plans, your PPC management, all that other crap. That we're all offering these days. Capture it after you've got them on your initial product offering, which you're really good at. Over the top SEO, the agency I run, we're really good at SEO. So guess what we promote on our site? SEO. I don't talk about the web design. We do web design. We do sites from 3,000 to 10K, up to 20K. On a daily basis, we're closing those deals, but we promote SEO because that's where the money's at. That's where we're good at. So do that for you. If you're going to go after, especially on your homepage, web design, make this nothing about inbound marketing or any other crap. Kansas City Web Design, lucrative, lure creative. Kansas City's #1 web designer, that kind of stuff. Play with that inside of here and get rid of this inbound marketing stuff. And you'll see a bump. The next thing I look at is your meta description. I can't see the entire thing, but it is 300 words, so it's not bad. We can actually go read it inside of Cora. Kansas City. Again, remember to email me to get the sheet. Okay, so here's some things initially when you get the sheet you're going to look at, and these are things that I pick out right away. You need H1 one, tag matches. So the matches inside of this is, designer, Kansas City web design, all those related things that we pointed out in the related searches and another thing. Those are really your matches, and that's how you fill that up. I'm going to mark this in green so you know the ones that I would fix. Span tags. This is an easy fix. All you do is set your span around a word, make the font black. Just go to W3 tools and it'll show you how to make the span tag. Make it black, and you can keep it with the font of your site and wrap words in the span tag. That's an easy fix. H4 through H6s. Do H4s, add one more since you don't have any. You're going to add your call to action exact match. That one's covered. So that's an easy one to do. Matches in page top 10. You're going to cover that. It's going to pick up already on something else, so that's okay. H3 matches. You need just some more H3 tags. You'll be able to fix that when you adjust your title to, or your H tags. And here's some more H4s, H6s, H2s. I would fix those. And then your word count. I just realized you guys probably can't see a damn thing I'm looking at. And the only reason I realized that is because I was bending over trying to lean into it. There we go. Hopefully you can see that better now. Title has sales words. Remember I said remove that that part about inbound marketing. Sell in your title. Try to, there's a set in here. You click in here, and it has title has sales words, and it'll bring up some examples for you. Obviously, all non-inclusive. That's what the software is looking for, is those examples. Add one of those to it. Number of sentences and word count. People just have longer stuff in the search results for your keyword. What this tells me is, one, I need longer content or just more of it, or two, there's someone in there who's got a bunch of words in their page that's a little bit crazy. So I go in here and look at word count is what we want to find. Word count. Let me zoom in on this one. Since I didn't carry the whole sheet. Boom. There's word count. And yeah, you see your first 2 page results are, they have twice the amount as the number 3 result, and they have twice the amount as number is yours. So you need to go in there and add another 700 words to your page to be competitive at parity with the rest of them. Some more tag stuff. This is stuff I would fix really easy. H1, H2, you're going to fix that when you get rid of those other ones and add the related. This one you're going to fix when you get rid of and add the related. Span tag exact match. Same thing that I talked about before. So the span tag matches and then the exact match. Kansas City web design in a span tag. Just make sure you set the same color as your font and you won't even notice it. It'll just be there in your code. That's the point. Matches the first 900 words. You're going to take care of that when you add more content to it. You'll end up doing that automatically. And number of images with alt text, 28 more. Be careful with this one. You can do it, but I really, I don't dig into it too much. But basically what it tells me is you end up looking for sites like UpCity that have a crap ton of images inside of those listings that they made. And let's see who else could be affecting that. I'm going to go with UpCity is probably the primarily one that's raising that number up. So you don't really want to compete with UpCity because they, those guys are geniuses. They made a damn directory, and Google likes directories. So they're not even promoting those pages really well and ranking on it. So I wouldn't even mess with it. If I wanted to rank the Marine. I'm going to come over here to your questions real quick. If I want to rank the domain .com web design, would I do the same thing you just mentioned, but on that page? Yeah, if you are going to, I think you're going to have a hard time getting that to rank. I had another domain. It was olympiaseo.com, and then I wanted to go into Seattle SEO, and I had a really hard time getting the homepage to rank for Seattle. No, I'm sorry. I had a hard time getting the Seattle page to rank, so I had to switch the brand to Digitaleer and then specifically make a Seattle page. And Google still shows my homepage for that Seattle term. So I think you might be stuck. What I would say if you want to change it is go ahead and do it and then link specifically a lot inside of your website directly to the web design page. And then link from the web design page to this one, and it'll kind of boost your ranking without having to do all the optimization stuff. If you make a whole new page, you're going to need a whole new core report, though, because it's based off of what's in the page. If you duplicate this page and then change your home page up, and then change this exact duplicate page on the new URL, then the core page will match. It'll still be appropriate. Hopefully that makes sense. The only change you're really gonna have in that case would be your URL, and you can make the rest of these changes after that. So this one I'd just be careful with. You probably don't need to do it. Maybe some ads, some more images, and then use the match terms up here as your alt tags, and you'll be good to go. But certainly not 28 more unless you have the content to support it. Microdata, Flish Kincaid. We already know this one doesn't work. It's still in the software, but we know that Google's not reading it and doesn't use it, so I don't even bother with that. Microdata stuff, it has it in there. What I do is instead of putting it on the post on the page, I go to Google and mark it up inside of a search console. The users are already going to see the postal code, address, and postal code, rating, address, etc. So just mark it up inside a search console, and you've met the requirement for Google, and that'll make it easier for you. Yeah, I agree. I would rank the homepage. It's kind of too late now. If you were, it's the same lesson I had to learn for Digitaleer. If I wanted to rank that page for SEO, great, but I can't rank it for web design stuff now. So now I have to make specific site silos in there for web design to be competitive. It just I kind of hindsight being what it is, you know what I mean? So sentence matches, you're going to add this when you add more content. A trick here is if you add 700 more words, but you can't add 55 more sentences, make smaller sentences, like those little bullet phrases and stuff. The software will read it as a sentence, which means Google's going to read it as a sentence. So you have that done. Let me go back to this one. Okay, so now we've addressed Quora. We looked at your on page. This really is your easy fix. I've talked about the H tags, and what I'm doing there is essentially making an outline of your web page. And an outline in a research paper has to be relevant to the entire topic of the paper. And that same it holds true with your H tags and your outline of your website for the algorithm to understand what it's truly about. I bet you 10 to 1 you fix this, you're going to see a bump. It's not going to be significant. It's not going to get you from 97 to 5, which would be really cool. But I've seen where we implemented the H tags alone, and we implemented what Core told us, and we've gotten pages from 54 to 5. So it's going to be a good bump. What I would do if you want to test it out, you're just not comfortable yet laying all your trust into Quora and the numbers, is fix the H tags first, send it to Google, see what happens, and then that'll give you a really good answer. Next thing I wanted to look at here is your meta description. You're using 300, and I want to go to Loon. Lure. Creative. Let's see yours. Kansas City, our websites and marketing services we include web development, web design solutions. So I would rewrite this a little bit. I'm going to show you just kind of how I get into this. I do this for our local clients specifically. I did it for our on-page service as well, but not as in detail because I can't scale that service. So text display, zoom. So you can read it. I'm not going to do this so you guys can't read it. So I'm going to go to Drive, take the extra step here, and just do it here. I don't know about you guys, but Drive has been lagging a lot for me lately. Thank you, Surfworks. I need that. All right, you guys should be able to see that. I'm going here. I'm going to grab my match terms. Copy that. Come on. Over here. There's my match terms. So I want all these things inserted inside of here. So here we go. I'm going to Lure Creative. For the best Kansas City design firm right now. Our websites. So we got web design is covered. Our web designers. There we go. Our web designers. Our web designers. Provide. Damn it. Quality service for an affordable price for any Kansas City, Missouri, or it's Kansas City, right? Kansas City, Missouri. I'm gonna just say yes. You can fix the state. Kansas City, small business. We create web design. We create websites. We create a website. Because website is there, right? We create a website that represents your business and meets your marketing goals. When you're going to pitch that, you know, what does the business really want? At the end of the day, they want sales, right? So you're looking for sales, so they're looking for sales. So when you pitch that and you're talking about meeting your marketing goals, we create a website that helps with the conversions, so you can convert your traffic, etc. Check out the site. Yeah. Bring that one back next week, and we'll look at that one next week. Hyper Solutions. So here is the version that I did based off of what we got in here. So web design is in there, web designers, Kansas City for your local relevance, the exact match term, talking about web design. Website is there, and what other variation can I see? Make sure your website design meets your and represents your business. Your website design. Let's get 2 words with one. Your website design that represents your goals. So now we've gotten website and website design are both covered. So now I've increased your relevancy of your meta description. Second page website. We updated the just the meta description, and I did some span tags that we were talking about before. Crap, I can't copy it. It's too much words. So there you go. Write that down, Gabe. It won't let me send it. I can send it in 2 different things here, I think. There's the first half. There's the second half. Second page, it was stuck on number 11. We updated 3 span tags that we talked about from Cora, and then I changed my meta description just like I showed you right there. It went from 11 to 5, just updating those 2 things, those 2 elements. So, to me, that's a good result. Just a little bit of creative writing. So that's how you do it. Okay, and I think that's it. I think I've given you a lot of homework. So the H tags, email me so I can send you the spreadsheet so you can get you can do those. If realistically, if you're taking your time and you're doing it right, it's probably going to take you a couple hours, specifically because you got to add the content and stuff. And that just happens. I'm going to show you one more example of a page that I did following my following that process, and this one is stuck at number 9. I don't know where it's at today, so it's going to be a surprise for both of us. There it is, number 5. So 9 to 5, just doing on page, and you see that bounces around a little bit. And that's in Kansas City. I bet you if I turn this off, you get a little bit different. Yeah, it's going to show me the same thing because I'm here. No big deal though. I'm going to do a new session just to see. Because I want to know now. Yeah, it's number 2 now. No big deal though. Another one that you can reverse engineer, reverse engineer essentially, is go to this iGumball and look at their meta tags. This is pretty interesting. It kind of got me wondering what the hell they're doing. But look at here in this section right here. We're adding geotagging in our schema. They're putting it in their meta tags. And they're, all they do is Google Maps marketing. And we're trying to kick them out of that spot. Is basically my goal. So I would look at that and see what they're doing and try to implement that. I'm testing it on some local pages, see what happens. I think it's pretty cool. And my email is clint@overthetopseo.com. And I also have clint@digitaleer.com. Digitaleer is my agency that I run, that I own, and then Over the Top, I'm their head of SEO. So I'm running 2 agencies at the same time. It keeps me damn busy. So you guys are my break from the mind numbingness of doing all this work and managing projects and all that stuff together. So I appreciate it. So, yep. Okay, I think that's it. You guys have any questions? You stuck with me this whole time. So if you have any more questions, I'll gladly answer. Otherwise, I think we're going to call it quits. It's been going pretty good here tonight. And questions offer expires in 5, 4, 3. All right. So anyway, yeah, just to round up for everyone, they kind of learned from that. Use your H tags, H1, 2, 3, and 4. No, can't. 1, 2. Nope, can't see it. All right. Anyway, the glare is messing me up. But anyway, use your H tags 1, 2, 3, and 4. Use it like an outline for your website. Get your H tags, the 2s and 3s from related searches, the people also ask function that we just showed you. If you don't find any in there, which there's only been a couple instances where that happens, go to Google Trends, plug your keyword in there, and it'll show you the trending keywords. Those are related. And if you want to even get narrow focus, hit your exact market that you're looking at inside of Google Trends, and it'll help you out. And once you've done that, update your meta description. Look at the search results. How long is the meta description that you're seeing? If it's still the 160 characters, don't put 300 characters in there. But if it's showing the long one, use those long ones. Use the match terms that I just showed how to do inside from Quora. To get those yourself, all you have to do is Google something, web design, for instance. And then look at the words that come up bold inside of the search results. Those are the match terms that Quora is pulling. You can do it manually. It's really easy. You just go in there and write down 5, 10 words that are bolded, and there you go. You have your match terms. And in your case, Gabe, implement the Quora thing. I'm pretty confident that you're going to go from 97 probably to the 20s and 30s just on your on-page stuff alone. And maybe even higher depending on the competition level that's there in Kansas City. I haven't tried to rank anything there yet. I know Houston, that one surprised the crap out of us. And we went, like I said, I went from 54 to 5 just doing on-page stuff. And we built maybe 4 to 5 backlinks to that page since then. And it's sitting, it bounces around a little bit because their competitions rely mainly on link building, but sitting pretty and getting good phone calls from it. So try it out and let me know how that goes. Yep, great. And with that being said, this has been episode 62. Gabe, thank you for bringing the website. Everyone else, thank you for watching and your questions. If you have another website you'd like me to see, bring it by next week. And we already have one person who's going to bring his. And if we have more than one, then I'll make it go longer, or I'll keep shortening the number of sites that we look at in the news. And I'll just highlight it down to something else. So I won't trade off the audits to listen to me blab about other crap. So with that being said, thank you guys, and I'll see you next week.